We've done a lot of 10 Things episodes about different fish. We've done fish that shouldn't be in the hobby, we've done the most abused fish, and top 10 fish for beginners. This one is going to be a little different. Buckle up, because there might be some hurt feelings in this video. Just understand that we do lists like this for the betterment of the hobby, not to tear people down or get people upset with us. Here is our list of the top 10 fish that are popular for the wrong reasons. There's a certain evolution that almost every single fish keeper goes through. It's right around that 5 or 6 month mark when they start to say, man, the algae in this tank is out of control. I need to get a fish that'll get rid of it. And this is when they go to the store and say, I need a sucker fish. And they're immediately drawn to the common plecostomus. The common pleco is a catfish that can get over 24 inches in size, and newsflash, they're not algae eaters. Yes, they'll graze on algae, but these are carnivorous catfish that require meat and protein in their diet. This is easily fixed by just providing the pleco with good food made specifically for them. But then there's the next problem, and that's people putting them in tanks that are way too small. Listen, common plecos are an absolutely awesome fish. They look like a little alien thing in your aquarium, but they do need the appropriate size tank and the right food. If your tank has a lot of algae in it, there's plenty of ways to resolve that. First is get off your ass and do a better job taking care of your tank. And the second is, if you really want a fish that'll help you out, you have several options that'll do a great job, like autosinkless, shrimp, snails, and yes, some plecos, just not the common ones. Just don't get a common pleco, put it into a small aquarium and think that it's going to do the job of cleaning the tank for you. Clean your own tank and stop being lazy.
Everyone has seen Finding Nemo, right? Well, if you haven't, then where have you been? We're going through a pandemic, and what else do you have to do? Finding Nemo is an amazing story and one of the best Disney has ever done. But there's a sad side effect of this movie that's great for the fish keeping industry, but bad for the fish. Kids see the movie and they're like, Mommy, Daddy, I really want a Nemo. It would be so cool to have. And because we live in the world that we live in today, kids get anything and everything they want. So the parents go out, they get their child a Nemo, they come home, and they don't have a clue how to take care of this fish. The problem is they end up buying their child a little 5-gallon starter kit because they see a clownfish on the box. You might think I'm talking about the parents doing a bad thing here, and I'm not. We want as many kids entering this hobby as we can get. No, my problem is with the manufacturers promoting putting clownfish that can get to over 5 inches in size into a 5-gallon tank that's only like 16 to 17 inches long. Manufacturers are using the popularity of this movie and promoting the mistreatment of these fish. I absolutely love clownfish, and I'm sure you do too. It's just, I want to make sure if you plan on keeping these fish that you do it the proper way. And to the manufacturers doing this, stop being so greedy, do the right thing. Shame on you.
We've gotten a lot of heat in the past about things that we've said about glowfish. Listen to me very carefully here. We are not making fun of you for having these fish, and we're not saying you're a bad person if you keep glowfish. But the reason they're on this list is because of the novelty factor. They aren't the only fish on this list that'll have this problem. People see glowfish and they're attracted to the spectacle of them, not the fact that they're a living thing that needs to be taken care of. They see them as something that'll get them attention when their friends come over, and we all know how desperate people are for attention these days. Not everyone, but a lot of them. If you're a fish keeper and you know how to maintain a healthy aquarium and you decide you're gonna set up a glowfish tank, that's fine. It's not my thing, I don't really get it, but if it makes you happy, that makes me happy. I just have a problem with people and manufacturers using flashy things to attract people to buy their products for the wrong reasons. These are living creatures that have already drawn the shortest straw because they've been genetically modified and they live their lives under stupid black lights. If you like glowfish, then cool. Just treat them like any other fish. Don't buy into the novelty of them. And if you're offended by the people just wanting attention comment that I made, I just want to ask you one question. How many selfies have you taken today?
I mean, seriously, do I even need to say anything about these? Just look at them. Bubble-eyed goldfish live miserable lives. I mean, once you get over the shock factor of them and think about how unbearable their lives must be, you have to feel bad for them. I don't know. I just can't do it.
Wow, we are on a roll today, getting all up in people's feelings.
You wanted to do this topic.
See what happens, I guess. Okay, here's the deal. There's some people out there that are drawn to particular types of fish simply because they're quote unquote mean. Not saying any particular type of people. These people come in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. I believe this is another attention thing. I'll be honest. I used to be this way in my younger days. People think I'm tough because I have a fish that's mean and scary. It's kind of silly if you think about it. It's the same reason, in my opinion, that a lot of people buy pit bulls and Rottweilers. These are amazing big dogs that many people buy simply to get attention because people will say, oh, he must be a tough guy because he has this mean dog. Listen, don't yell at me. I totally understand that there's a ton of people out there that are doing the right thing by these dogs and these fish. But there's also a whole lot of people out there that are buying them for the wrong reasons. It's really a social thing, not a love for the animals. If you're keeping a particular fish or dog because you love it and want to do right by it, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're buying it simply because it's mean, you're making a bad choice.
What happens when you see a small freshwater aquarium fish labeled shark? Well, most experienced fish keepers are gonna say that's just another cool fish. But what's a little kid gonna say? Wow, I can have a shark? Do they want the Bella shark or rainbow shark because it's a really cool fish, or do they want it because it says shark? Just think about it. This is the same kind of thing as with the clownfish. These fish are bought by parents that don't know anything just to make their child happy, and they put them in tanks that are way too small. Rainbow sharks can get over 6 inches in size, and Bella sharks can get up to 14 inches, and so many of them are put in little 5-gallon tanks on top of a child's dresser. I guess when you're getting fish for your little guy's aquarium, Tetra and Barb are just not as appealing as shark. Why do they call them sharks anyway?
I don't know.
I've never understood that. It's like calling our black cat a panther.
Wakanda forever!
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark.
Aha, you thought Lisa was gonna get betas. Nope, not this time. I get to have fun with this one. One of the things that I absolutely hate about the beta industry is that they're labeled as decorative fish. They want people to buy them simply because they're pretty and you can keep them in tiny tanks on your desk. It's pretty sad when you think about how many stores have their beta displays and all the fish in the little cups on the end caps of the aisles. Do you want to know why that is? It's so that they can draw your attention to it when you're walking by to go pay for your dog food or your cat treats. They want you to buy these fish on impulse. And if you think about it, it's kind of dirty. Yes, it's true that betas don't need to be kept in huge tanks, but to market them as fancy decorations that can be kept in 1-gallon aquariums is just wrong. Buy a beta because they're amazing little fish with incredible personalities, not because they're a pretty decoration. Oh, and if you don't like the way I say beta instead of betta, you don't have to waste your time in the comment section typing, I can't take advice from someone who doesn't even know how to pronounce the name. Dislike. Seriously, we can say the word differently and still be friends.
was in a store a while back and there was a woman purchasing 2 koi. While the employee was bagging up the fish, the husband walked up and said, "Which tank are you putting these in?" And she said, "The little one in the living room." I'm sure everyone watching this video already knows this, but koi get really big. Some get downright huge, and unfortunately they're put for sale in normal aquariums right next to fish like Blackmore and Arandas. The problem with this is that people don't realize that koi get way bigger than other goldfish. The worst part about this story is I didn't even hear the employee at the store ask the customer what they plan on putting them in. I know you think that everyone knows that koi should be in ponds, but the reality is not everyone does.
I saw 4 koi in a 55-gallon in a customer's house the other day.
Did you say anything to them?
No.
Why not?
I was there to fix furniture, not give a lesson on keeping fish.
I would have said something.
Okay, this one might be a little controversial, but hear me out. Anyone that knows me knows of my love for Arowanas. I absolutely love the silvers and have always dreamt of having an Asian, but the stupid rules won't let me get one. This has to be said right up front. It doesn't matter what type of Arowana you have, they all need to go in huge tanks. Unfortunately, something I've seen many times is people see the Asians and find out everything about them, how to care for them and how big the tank needs to be, and then they realize Asians are illegal here in the United States. Then they say, well, okay, well, I can't have the Asians, which really sucks because they're the prettiest thing on earth, but I'll go ahead and get a silver because they're the next best thing. But the problem is the silvers get way bigger than the Asians. They end up putting a silver Arowana in a 5-foot tank because that's what they read an Asian needs, and this is not good. Now I have to reiterate, all Arowanas need to be in huge tanks. I'm just saying there's different rules as far as tank size goes for the different types of fish. I'll be happy to accept you into the Arowana Club, which doesn't really exist, at least not that I know of, but just make sure that you're setting your tank up right for a silver Arowana and not an Asian. You knew this was coming, right? I mean, there was no way Oscars weren't going to make it on this list. In fact, let me do something real quick. Yes, indeed. That's right. That's better. Oscars are one of the most common first fish for people just getting into the hobby, and it makes sense. They're super active in the tanks at the pet store, and when they're small, they have those big googly eyes, and they're just adorable. The problem is so many first fish tanks are way too small for Oscars. You set it all up and everything's fine for 5 or 6 months, but before you know it, that 20-gallon starter kit that you have is just way too small for that Oscar. And that's not all. If you've ever owned an Oscar, you know they can be downright destructive to decorations and yes, even other fish in the tank. They start out as these cute little googly-eyed fish with amazing personalities, and before you know it, they become some big old destructive monsters. Now don't let this scare you though. This is one of the most personally rewarding fish I've ever kept in my life. If you're gonna get one, all I'm saying is make sure you can house that fish properly for its entire life. And then, like I said about the Arowanas, welcome to the club. And once you fall in love with Oscars, go to my website and buy this shirt, keepfishkeeping.com.